This is a story of around 1978. In an old area of Karachi, there was a masjid known as Noor Masjid. And there was a youngster of around 28 years of age. Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar. Was an imam of that masjid. But there was something different about him. He would practically strive to save the people from the harms of evil doings. He would provide ideological trainings to those who want to perform salah, who want to come near to deen. He would go to invite politely towards the masjid to the people who would not come to offer salah. And he would be part of people in their times of happiness and sorrows. He was obsessed with reforming those who had fallen victims of evil and wrongdoings. And after observing the sincerity of this young imam, it was quite obvious and it was seeming like this man will be able to achieve his goal of reforming the people one day. Then a surprising turn came in his life, and that was 2nd of September 1981. The foundation of a huge organization known as Dawateislami was kept. By the excellent efforts of this young imam and those around him, his friends and his companions, this organization kept on growing and growing and growing. And the world today knows that young imam with the name of Amir Ahl-Sunnat, Sheikh Maulana Ilyas Attar Qadri, Damat Barakatuhum Al-Aliya. Jamile Qadri so jaan se qurban murshid par banaya jisne mujh jaise. It is stated in a hadith Mubarakah, Man lam yashkurin nas, lam yashkurillah. He who is not thankful to the people is not thankful to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So today let's talk about the legendary personality and thank him for giving us this beautiful environment, the mindset of rectifying ourselves and the entire world, the fondness with Sunnah, the familiarity with Sunnah and pious deeds. Let's talk about and let's thank the Honorable Shaykh Tariqat, Amir Ahl-Sunnat, Maulana Ilyas Attar Qadri, Damat Barakatuhum Al-Aliya. And a number of people have taken him as the leader and guide and are following his Islamic teachings. Remember, there are two signs of an active and a successful organization. Number one is the crystal clear, transparent objective of the organization, the objective of Dawateislami, which is known to the people. And what an amazing goal and aim Dawateislami has, that I must strive to reform myself and the people of the entire world, insha'Allah Azza wa Jal. And for this goal, Amir Ahl-Sunnat, Maulana Ilyas Qadri, Damat Barakatuhum Al-Aliya, needed a fully fledged, professional, proper system to make sure that this goal goes on a smooth track. So this point was kept into consideration and work had been done on this. So the system of Dawateislami kept on going stronger and stronger. Now, what was the basic reason for the progress of this organization? It was the passion of sincerity, the pleasure of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and working for the pleasure of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Because when the intention is of personal gain or greed, so it turns out to be very disastrous at times. Maulana Muhammad Ilyas Qadri has been the embodiment of sincerity and passion from since the beginning. In order to spread his message, the message of Deen, the message of Islam, he would travel to different areas of Karachi and make motivational speeches. In fact, on his journeys, he would cover his expenses on his own. In fact, he would even carry small things like salt with him so that he does not end up asking people for small favors even. So when this is the level of sincerity of an individual, then not only his words become magical, not only his words are accepted, in fact, his character also preaches to the people. As a result, people began to accept this invitation. They became influenced by this and they started joining, not only old ones, not only young ones, old and young from all ages. They started to come closer to the organization and became part of the organization. The most effective part of the invitation of Maulana Ilyas Qadri, Damat Barakatuhum Al-Aliya, was that he put in the mindset of reforming the ummah, reformation of the ummah. He gave this mindset, he fed this mindset, and he went on with this mindset. But not only that, along with that, he brought about unique and beautiful methods to attain this noble goal. And this unique way and this unique method, it would not be wrong to classify this as a sunnah, as a method or the methodology of the Sahaba Ikram and the pious friends of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So this was the first point of why an organization becomes successful, or how an organization becomes successful. Second point is a systematic manner and a systematic control and approach. So as Dawateislami started growing, the work of Dawateislami started growing. So what Dawateislami needed at that point was an organizational structure to ensure all its operations. So keeping this in mind and keeping all the ground realities in mind, an executive committee for this organization, Dawateislami, was created and duties were distributed accordingly. Now in addition with this, it was not just a matter of creating an executive board. It was a matter of training, because untrained individuals and abundance of untrained individuals in an organization may even cause loss and damage to the organization. So therefore, be it wedding, be it in the masjid, be it in the offices, workplaces, in the markets, on the streets, in fact, to the extent of a funeral as well, Maulana Muhammad Ilyas Qadri Damat Barakatuhum al-Aliyah initiated the system of dars, teaching to the people. In the last 40 years, the interest and the love, the passion towards learning more and more ilm-e-deen in those who are associated with the organization is increasing and increasing. And this can be imagined and comprehended by the fact that Dawateislami's publication department, Maktabatul Madina, if the sale records is seen, subhanallah azza wa jal, it will become very obvious that there are people associated with the organization who are getting more and more interested in learning ilm-e-deen. Devotees around the world spare their time, volunteer, to be part of this organization, and also support the organization financially with their funds. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala keep this garden of Dawateislami flourishing, and may we live under the beautiful shade and peaceful shade of Amir al-Sunnat, Shaykh Maulana Ilyas Qadri Damat Barakatuhum al-Aliyah. So dear viewers, 2nd September 2021 is approaching, which means Dawateislami is, subhanallah, completing its 40 years. So why shouldn't we pay gratitude and be thankful to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for the fact that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given us such an amazing organization that as soon as someone gets close to it, the love for Allah and His beloved Rasul sallallahu ta'ala alayhi wasallam increases in his heart. So why don't we also be associated with this beautiful environment of Dawateislami and thank Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala upon the completion of 40 years of this beautiful organization. And why shouldn't we wholeheartedly say thank you Dawateislami, thank you Amir al-Sunnat, shukriya Dawateislami, shukriya Tarka.